Hi guys, I'm here to talk to you about the portfolio instructions, and I'll probably talk for just a few moments about the cover letter as well. So you see that I am at the announcements page where the homework is posted, and just want to show you how I'm getting to some things. So first, a quick reminder that on Monday the 11th, you don't have a lot due that day except preparing for your portfolio, so make sure that you bring at least half of a cover letter. Just attempt one. And my recommendation is that you read one of the examples I've provided. The examples, the stuff related to the examples are here. This is a video where I preview the 4 example cover letters, so you can pick the one that you're most interested in or you think you'll benefit the most from. And then I also have 2 links. So this link takes you to just one cover letter on a website that's by itself, and then if you click on the second link, it takes you to a website, but you're going to have to scroll down to the bottom and click on one of the 3 writers' names to select the one that you want. I think I showed that in the video as well, but just wanted to remind you how to find the cover letter samples. So I'm here to talk to you about the instructions for the portfolio, which I've posted down here. So your 2 main goals for the next week and for class next time is to review the instructions for the portfolio, which I passed out last night and talked about a little bit in class, gave you a preview of the document. So I'm going to go through that a little bit more in depth now, and then to review those cover letters and then write half of yours, at least half, because I'll help you to make some, like I've been doing all semester. I'll help you to prepare for changes and revisions that need to be made for that cover letter that's due in your portfolio. You guys know that portfolio is due on July 11th. That's a week from tomorrow. So the good news is that everything is written for the portfolio, with the exception of that cover letter. That's the only new thing you are writing. You are revising other pieces. And so remember what I said earlier in the semester about doing these revisions in small bursts. Work on it for 15 or 20 minutes and then go work on something else unrelated. Do something around the house, do something for a friend, go out for a walk, go have an ice cream. I don't know. But don't sit and do all of this at the same time. Don't force yourself to do this whole portfolio project in whatever window of time you provide yourself, whether it's an hour or 2 hours. I would not do that, because the quality of your work will be lower than if you spend a little bit of time over the next couple of days. Allocate a certain amount of time each day. I would say 30 to 40 minutes at most. And don't try to do it all in one sitting is the bottom line. All right, so let's look at those instructions. The link to the instruction sheet is here. You can also find it by going to Content and scrolling all the way down to the table of contents and clicking on Midterm Course Portfolio. So I said to you in class, I think I'm going to download this because otherwise it's going to be hard to see. So I said to you in class that the first paragraph tells you why you're doing it. And the bottom line, I'm going to use that phrase a lot today, is that doing a portfolio actually helps you to review your work, and you start to see for yourself what your strengths and weaknesses are. Even though I've been helping with that by always putting comments in a plus column and a minus column, and you know that the plus column is represents your strengths and the minus column represents your weaknesses. But you really need to come to the realization on your own, about your strengths and weaknesses. And I'm just sort of nudging you in that direction and doing it in a very objective way, because I have no reason to like or dislike your writing. I'm here to help you to improve the quality of it. So that's why we're doing it. This talks to you about how much the portfolio is worth and how I will grade it. So this is just information for you. The next section, the first grade section, talks to you about how to put your portfolio together. So basically, you don't want to spend any extra cash, recycle an old 2-pocket folder. Actually, I asked you to have a 2-pocket folder for the course folder, so you can use that. But I prefer no binders. I prefer no plastic sleeves. The presentation of this does not matter to me as much as the revisions you're making in your writing. So spend time and effort on the revisions, not on trying to make it look a certain way, because I am only evaluating the quality of your writing in this portfolio. So people often ask, what do I want in the portfolio? I've said here what I want, these 2 bullet points here to show you that, but I'll tell you very quickly I need all the graded copies of your essay plus a printout of the revised one. And the graded copies merely provide for me a record of what your writing was doing in the previous draft. So those need to be in there so I can evaluate your writing process a little bit. So you're going to give me all graded copies and then printouts of the new drafts with the revisions. Also, you're going to have a Works Cited page with all the essays. And so as of last night, we went over how to do website source Works Cited entries. So now you know how to do the website source Works Cited entry for your memoir, which we didn't get to go over earlier in the semester, but you can go back and do that for the portfolio. Not a big deal. It's one Works Cited entry. And you know that we'll probably be adding a little bit to the response essay Works Cited entries, only for those people who use more than one secondary source. You remember last night we only had time in class to write one entry for one online Works Cited entry for that web source you found for the response essay. All right, and then I asked for a kind of table of contents, but notice here I say it's fine just to label the pockets of your folder. I just need to know where things are located. I don't care what order everything comes in. I just need for you to tell me what order you have put things in. And then we've been reviewing MLA format for a couple of weeks now. I'm reminding you about what the first page needs to look like, and the second and the third page, and the spacing of the Works Cited page. We kind of went over that last night in class, so make sure that you just review all of those things. Page 749 has the example Works Cited page in the textbook, and then we do have a link to the Purdue OWL in our D2L shell, and so if you have questions about MLA format, you can check that website as well. All right, so the second gray section talks to you about what goes in the portfolio. I mean, I've kind of talked about that a little bit up here, but here in this section, I'm being more specific about which things am I talking about. So people get confused. Every time I submit this instruction sheet to people, they get confused because I think they've lost track of what assignments we've done. So let me repeat that you don't have to write anything new for the portfolio except for this. This one you have not written yet. This is the one that you're going to be working on over the weekend to review the samples or the example cover letters or reflection letters as I have written here, and then bringing half of a draft to class on Monday the 9th. Everything else you have written already. True, most of these things are in my possession right now. You know I'm returning the response essays to you on Thursday, and you'll receive your memoir and academic summaries back on Monday the 9th. And then you received your paraphrase last night, and remember I said I'll make time in class to grade those for you so that you have them before you leave on Monday night. So if you want to do the paraphrase revision, please make sure you have that in class on Monday the 9th. Bring the old copy back that was graded and returned to you, and then just bring a couple of revisions. I mean, those are just a few sentences. Shouldn't take me very long to see what you've changed and if it's better. All right, so these are the things that will be revised. You've been working on these three longer than you've been working on this one. So I am not at all sorry that you're going to have to manage your own writing process for this cover letter, aka reflection letter. I mean, I am going to help you to do a little bit of work with it in class on the 9th, but basically you're responsible for writing it, studying the examples, writing it, making the revisions. With a little bit of assistance from us in class, you're more responsible for it. So this is starting to look, as we're moving through the semester, as of right now, a little bit more like the kind of writing assignment you receive from other professors, that you are more responsible for the entire writing process and knowing all the stuff that your English teacher has supposedly taught you already. So there's nothing happening in this reflection letter or this cover letter that you don't know. There's nothing you're expected to do that you haven't already practiced in the class. All right, so let's talk about other things that go in the portfolio. So just to clarify, writing one new essay, 3 essays that you're revising. This assignment, not really an essay, right, but still some revision that needs to be done for those 2 practice assignments. And then things that do not need to be revised, very clearly stated. So I will be collecting your journal in your portfolio. Please do not rip pages out. I do want to see the whole journal, but remember last night I passed out some Post-it notes that you will use as bookmarks. You should flip through your journal and find 3 pages that you want me to look at. I will not have time to read your whole journal. I would die. I will not have time to eat or sleep or bathe or pet my cat, take my dog for a walk, all those other things that I have to do. So please make sure that you bookmark the 3 pages you want me to look at, and those will be the only 3 pages that I have time to look at because I'm reading 4 other essays. Okay, so do not take your journal apart, leave it all together, and then just bookmark those pages. And then I'm going to ask you to forget this one for now. We'll work on this one in class on Monday the 9th. This is not a big deal. And in some ways, you guys can't really choose this item until you receive some things back from me. I have a lot of reading to do. I offer revision so that you guys can learn and improve the quality of your writing. So this is the way that it works, that I must collect these things and read them, and I'll get them back to you on Monday. So forget about this one for now. We'll take care of this one in class on Monday the 9th. So I think I've covered generally the things that people are concerned about. And I am not going to cover the instructions for the cover letter or the reflection essay. They're called both things. That's why I'm using those words interchangeably as I'm talking to you. So I would read through this. Notice that this is in bold-faced type, so this must be important. It's actually defining what the purpose of your piece of writing is for you. And I am your audience, so make sure that you keep those 2 things in mind. The other thing that I will scroll down and mention very quickly is that down here I have told you very clearly what I'm looking for your cover letter to discuss. Introduce the contents, reveal what you've learned from the assignment. I think the word assignment got taken off, so if you guys could fill that in there, that would be great. Reveal what you've learned from the assignments. Reveal to me what was significant for you about the assignment, and significance and what you learned are not the same thing. So I would consider the difference there. It might be a subtle difference, but it's still a difference. And then the last thing here is that I ask for you to evaluate your strengths and weaknesses. So as long as your cover letter does these things, I'm not saying you have to apply each of these things to each assignment equally. I'm just saying make sure you go through the thinking process where you show me that you've learned something and you're telling me what it is that you've learned and how that matters. That's the significance part, how the assignment mattered to you, and then telling me what you think your strengths and weaknesses are without sounding like a parrot, that you're just telling me what I've already said. That would be awesome. I'm looking for you to be honest with yourself about your learning. This is important. Honest with yourself. And with me to a certain degree, but I'm more concerned that you're honest with yourself. Okay, so last thing here is that I would be sure not to mention what you like or dislike about the course. That's not really a part of this activity. You'll get to evaluate the course later this semester. So when you're writing a cover letter or a reflection letter that introduces the contents of a portfolio, your job is to show your reader what you know about your own writing and your own learning and your own responsibility to that learning. So make sure you're talking about that and not about me. I really love compliments. I really also love feedback, but it's not the place for that. It doesn't really fit in this letter. So I encourage you to jot down questions you still have about the portfolio assignment and the cover letter. I will be online Thursday night from 8 until 8:30. I'll be happy to answer any of your questions or concerns, and I will record that session as well, as long as people show up to it. You guys have a great 4th of July. I will see you at the online office hours on Thursday and in class on Monday the 9th. See you later.